There's a moment in every man's life when he feels it, subtle, yet sharp. A glance dismissed, a word laced with mockery, a respect not given, though silently demanded. And in that moment you wonder, why does she not respect me? But the deeper question is far more powerful. Why does it even shake me? Type in the comments right now. Respect is earned within, not demanded from others. Let's see how many of you truly grasp this ancient truth. Before we dive in, if you've ever felt the sting of disrespect, but craved the calm, unshakable presence of a Stoic mind, tap the like button now. Not just for the algorithm, but as a pact with yourself. A silent vow to become untouchable. Today, we're not merely discussing relationships. We're peeling back the layers of human nature, ancient philosophy, and the forgotten art of inner sovereignty. This is not about clever tricks to handle women. This is about mastering the only domain that ever mattered, yourself. In the next few moments, you'll uncover 6 Stoic ways to navigate the storm of disrespect, not with petty reactions, but with the quiet power of a man who knows his worth cannot be given or taken. You'll learn why respect is not a currency traded in words, but a reflection of your own internal empire. We will journey through ancient wisdom, lost philosophies, and powerful techniques once known to Stoic masters. Teachings that have been buried by time, but not forgotten. By the end, you won't just know how to handle disrespect. You will embody a presence so solid, so immovable, that respect becomes inevitable. Prepare yourself. This is not a conversation for the faint-hearted. This is a rite of passage. Shall we begin? Long before modern relationships became a battlefield of egos and expectations, ancient philosophers pondered a timeless truth. Respect is never truly about others. It is a mirror reflecting the mastery of self. The Stoics knew this. From the marble halls of Athens to the bustling streets of Rome, they whispered a wisdom that cut through human folly. No man is free who is not master of himself. Consider Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, surrounded by flattery, betrayal, and yes, even scorn. Did he demand respect? He embodied it. For the Stoics, external validation was as fleeting as morning mist. Their gaze was turned inward, towards the only kingdom they sought to rule, the mind. But where did this idea originate? The roots stretch even further back into the ancient schools of cynicism, where thinkers like Diogenes lived in defiance of societal approval. Diogenes, who famously lived in a barrel, once rejected the most powerful man in the world, Alexander the Great, with a simple gesture of indifference. That moment was not mere arrogance. It was the living expression of inner freedom. A man who cannot be disrespected, for his respect was never up for negotiation. Over time, however, this radical self-possession was softened, refined, and crystallized into the Stoic teachings. Epictetus, born a slave, taught that true power lies in distinguishing what is within our control and what is not. Respect, in his view, belonged to the realm of externals, a fleeting shadow that only holds power if you chase it. Yet, in our age, this ancient understanding has been obscured. Today, respect is often seen as a transaction, demanded through status, wealth, or manipulation. But the Stoics offer a different path, a path that is not reactive, but sovereign, not about changing others, but about mastering the self. Why has this wisdom been forgotten? Perhaps because it offers no quick rewards. It requires courage. It demands inner work. In a world addicted to validation, the Stoic path seems austere, even cold. But beneath that perceived harshness lies an untouchable strength, a serenity that no insult can disturb. And so, when a woman disrespects you, the Stoic does not flinch. He understands that her words, her tone, are but ripples on the surface of his mind. The depth remains undisturbed. Today, you will reclaim this ancient power. You will remember what was once common knowledge among the wise, that the respect you seek from others is merely a reflection of the respect you hold for yourself. And through this lens, we will now explore 6 profound ways the Stoics would handle disrespect, not as tactics to control others, but as timeless practices to command yourself. Are you ready to unveil the first truth? Imagine standing before a still, silent mountain. The winds howl, storms rage, yet the mountain does not react. It simply is, unmoved, unbothered. This is the Stoic way of handling disrespect, not through confrontation, but through unshakable presence. The first truth is this: silence is sovereignty. When someone, especially a woman, disrespects you, your instinct may scream for reaction, to defend, to correct. But the Stoics teach otherwise. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Your calm, composed silence becomes a mirror. It reflects her disrespect back to her, without you lowering your stature. In that stillness you declare, I am not controlled by your chaos. Next comes detachment from ego. Epictetus taught that insults and disrespect only wound the ego, not the essence of who you are. If you do not fuse your identity with her opinion, her words lose their sting. Ask yourself, is this insult touching my true self, or merely brushing against my fragile ego? The moment you see this separation, you reclaim your power. The third truth is control what you can. Release what you cannot. Stoicism is mastery over the dichotomy of control. You cannot govern her thoughts, her moods, or her respect, but you can govern your response. Every time you choose patience over anger, composure over chaos, you forge an inner citadel, a fortress no disrespect can breach. Then comes the profound art of reframing insults as tests. Seneca taught that adversity reveals character. Disrespect is not an attack. It is a test. Will you crumble, or will you rise? Every cutting word becomes an opportunity to practice virtue, patience, wisdom, and strength. In this light, even an insult becomes a sacred tool for growth. The fifth truth lies in setting boundaries without emotion. Stoics were not passive. They did not allow disrespect to fester, but their corrections were calm, firm, and devoid of emotional turmoil. Like a gardener pruning a branch, you too can set clear, respectful boundaries, not through anger, but through dignified firmness. Finally, the sixth and most elusive truth: inner worth over external validation. The Stoic man does not seek respect as a currency from others. His worth is self-contained. Whether praised or insulted, he remains steadfast. This is the secret Diogenes held when he dismissed kings. This is the calm of Marcus Aurelius amidst betrayal. When you embody this, no disrespect can touch you, because you no longer depend on it. Each of these 6 ways is not merely a tactic. They are ancient pillars of inner mastery. When practiced, they transform you from a man who reacts to a man who simply is, a living embodiment of the unmoved mountain. And now, you may wonder, this sounds profound, but how do I live this in the real world? How do I face daily disrespect and stay aligned with this ancient wisdom? The next step is practical. Rituals, exercises, and real-world applications await. To truly embody Stoic resilience, we must go beyond mere understanding. We must confront the subtle traps, the hidden paradoxes that ensnare even the wisest minds. Disrespect, after all, is not always loud. Sometimes it whispers. A dismissive glance, a sarcastic tone, a withdrawal of warmth. These are the silent wars where Stoicism is truly tested. One of the greatest misconceptions is that Stoicism means emotional suppression. But this is false. The Stoics did not numb themselves. They refined their emotional responses. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Emotions arise. That is natural. But the Stoic chooses not to be led by them. When disrespected, he feels the sting, but does not flinch. He observes, accepts, and then responds with wisdom." Another paradox lies in the concept of respect itself. True respect cannot be demanded, only inspired. The more you seek it externally, the more it eludes you. Yet, when you withdraw your need for it, anchoring yourself in virtue, respect gravitates towards you. It is the magnetic pull of inner strength. This brings us to a forgotten insight. Disrespect reveals more about the giver than the receiver. When a woman disrespects you, it often reflects her own internal chaos, insecurities, unmet needs, or misaligned expectations. The Stoic, with his lens of compassion, sees this clearly. He does not personalize the offense. Instead, he understands it as a reflection of her inner storm. And with this understanding, his composure remains intact. But what of those who mistake your calm for weakness? The Stoic is not concerned, for strength that is silent is often mistaken for softness by the noisy and the unaware. Yet true strength requires no announcement. Like an ancient oak tree, it stands firm, unaffected by the chatter of sparrows. There's also a deeper layer, the discipline of non-attachment. Epictetus teaches us to attach yourself to what is in your control and detach from all else. This detachment does not mean indifference, but rather clarity. You engage in relationships, but your sense of self is not chained to their approval. In this, you achieve a paradoxical freedom, fully present, yet fully sovereign. Finally, remember this: Stoicism is not about being emotionless. It is about being emotionally invincible. Disrespect will come, as sure as the tides, but each wave is an opportunity, an invitation to practice mastery, to rise above the fleeting judgments of others and anchor yourself in timeless virtue. And so, you begin to see, handling disrespect is not about tactics or clever comebacks. It is about transforming yourself into a presence so grounded, so quietly powerful, that the need for external validation dissolves. This is not philosophy for the mind alone. It is a lived experience, a daily practice. Now, how do we translate this ancient wisdom into practical steps? How do we walk into the world, face disrespect, and respond not as mere mortals, but as modern Stoics? In the next part, we will explore the practices, rituals, and daily disciplines that will forge you into such a man. Now comes the moment where philosophy must leave the scrolls and step into your daily life, where ancient wisdom becomes living action. The path of the Stoic is not walked in grand declarations, but in small, relentless acts of self-mastery. The first practice is the pause of power. When you feel the sting of disrespect, the tightening chest, the rising heat, you do not react. You pause. A simple, sacred breath. This breath is your sword and your shield. It cuts through the fog of emotion and protects you from impulsive reaction. In that breath, you reclaim your sovereignty. Before words are spoken, before gestures are made, you choose composure. Second, you must cultivate the inner observer. Daily, take a few minutes to reflect. How much of my peace depends on the opinions of others? This self-inquiry, done with brutal honesty, reveals the subtle chains of external validation. Over time, you will see these chains for what they are, illusions, and with awareness, you begin to break them. Another powerful ritual is voluntary discomfort. The Stoics practiced hardship to prepare their minds for insults and disrespect. Cold showers, fasting, digital detoxes, these are modern forms of this ancient practice. By choosing discomfort willingly, you train your mind to remain unmoved when life imposes it upon you. In your interactions, practice detached engagement. Be present, listen deeply, but remain internally unhooked from the need to be respected or approved. Imagine a clear glass wall between your inner self and the external chaos. You see it, hear it, but it cannot touch you. A crucial daily exercise is journaling for resilience. Every evening, write down moments where you felt disrespected or triggered. Reflect not on how others behaved, but on how you responded. Ask yourself, did I act from virtue or from ego? This simple act transforms every slight into a stepping stone for growth. When boundaries must be set, invoke the calm correction. With a steady voice and unwavering eye contact, state your boundary clearly. No anger, no apology, no over-explaining. For example, I don't engage in conversations where respect is lacking. If this continues, I will walk away. Firm, respectful, sovereign. Finally, embrace the mirror of virtue. Begin each day by asking, what kind of man do I wish to be today? Visualize yourself responding to disrespect with grace, strength, and dignity. This mental rehearsal conditions your mind to act in alignment with your highest self. These are not mere techniques. They are alchemical tools, transforming reaction into reflection, weakness into wisdom. Through consistent practice, you will notice a shift. The words and actions of others lose their grip. You become less concerned with being respected and more devoted to living respectably. And paradoxically, it is this very detachment that commands a genuine respect. The journey of a Stoic is not to escape disrespect, but to transcend it. Now, as we prepare to conclude, it's time to weave all this wisdom into a final reflection, one that will linger in your mind long after the video ends. In the end, it is not the sharpness of her words, nor the coldness of her glance that defines you. It is how you hold yourself amidst the storm. A man who knows his worth does not chase after respect like a beggar seeking coins. He stands, rooted in virtue, unmoved by the fickle winds of opinion. Remember this, respect is not something you earn from others. It is something you uncover within yourself. It was always there, beneath the layers of ego, fear, and approval seeking. The Stoics knew this truth. They lived it. They breathed it. When you embody this inner respect, the world responds, not because you demand it, but because presence commands it. Without a word, without a plea, your very being radiates a quiet power. The kind of power that does not need validation. The kind of power that makes others pause and reassess how they approach you. Today, we have journeyed through ancient teachings, unearthed the lost art of sovereign presence, and explored practical ways to forge yourself into an unshakable man. Not to manipulate, not to dominate, but to master yourself. So, when disrespect next crosses your path, you will not react. You will observe, you will pause, you will respond, if necessary, with calm precision. And then, you will move forward, untouched, like the ancient Stoics who walked before you. This is not a one-time lesson. It is a lifelong practice, a discipline of the mind, and with each day, you will grow stronger, quieter, and more deeply respected, not because you sought it, but because you became worthy of it. Now I ask you, will you continue to give your power away, or will you begin today to cultivate the inner respect that no one can take from you? Let me know in the comments. I choose inner mastery over external approval. If this video has stirred something within you, a calling to rise above petty reactions and embody true Stoic strength, honor that feeling. Like this video, share it with someone who needs this ancient wisdom, and join me on this path of self-mastery. Your journey has just begun. Stay unmoved, stay sovereign,